Hey, I'm Brittany. I'm a strategic partner manager at YouTube working in artist development.
And I'm Mike. I'm a freelance art director and photographer in Brooklyn, and this is our Williamsburg loft. Welcome to our loft. It's 1,100 square feet and it costs $4,000 a month.
Before you come in, let's be sure we take off our shoes. We've got this wonderful doormat that says, "Bitch, don't wear no shoes in my house," from Roddy Ricch's famous song, The Box. And we've got some nice little shoe cabinets here for you to put your shoes away before you come into our house.
First thing you come in is the bedroom. This used to be an art studio, so we actually had to put up this wall. We wanted to have it here just because there's a beautiful skylight and it pours down into our room, and then we keep the light pouring through by having these giant transparent windows so it goes into the rest of the apartment.
We actually got soundproofing curtains off Amazon, and it actually gets pretty quiet in there, so Mike can watch NBA on the couch and I can watch TV in here and we still can't hear each other.
And then at night, we essentially have to seal it off by using this pulley system and then closing it like that. And then it just locks up right here. This is the office space. We kind of have two. We wanted to keep them separate. Mine is here. The desk is directly from IKEA. Everything else was just Facebook Marketplace, secondhand. I do art direction, I do photography. So we actually flip our apartment into a photo studio. So these are my seamlesses, and I'll use them for photo shoots. And then of course, because of COVID, we have to have a nice backdrop. So this is where I keep my equipment and kind of my photography. I have printed photos from my trip to Puerto Rico, and then I actually drove cross country to shoot a music video. So I drove all the way to Portland. And then this artwork is from Africa. My friend was in Zambia for about a month, and he brought this back for me. This is my entire office space, and I actually really love it. And of course we have Brittany's Googler hat, a new Googler. She just got a job at Google a few months ago.
Whenever people come over, we make them put it on. So we have like a bunch of goofy photos of our friends with like the pinwheel spinning. I think another cool thing on this bookshelf, CDs are such a lost art. You'll see like we have a lot of vinyl and CD in here, but I have like some projects that I got to work on, which I love. So like Khalid's first album, which is super cool, and the Backstreet Boys, which childhood me would be freaking out, and of course, G-Eazy.
All right, so this is our kitchen. We actually chose to put the kitchen here and the living room here because we just wanted to have a communal space. And this is kind of like our staple piece in the apartment. I was at my sister's house, and in the basement there was this old table, and it wasn't stable at all. So I decided to take it last minute, and I sanded it, stained it, and then brought it up here. It's about 200 to 300 pounds, so carrying it up the steps was a little rough.
When we first got it, it was really shaky. We had friends over and we were very worried as we were playing games that this thing was gonna collapse. I found this guy named Brian, who's the Brooklyn handyman. He was the only person that was like, I think I can fix it. These are old reclaimed wood from old water towers in Brooklyn. So super cool that we just have like an extra piece of history of Brooklyn built into this table. And most importantly, now it's not gonna fall over.
We have a ton of cabinets here. So we essentially started taking our personal items that don't necessarily belong in the kitchen and putting it up here in this space just so that we could find a way to fit everything without it looking extremely messy in our apartment.
We have one of the coolest pieces in this apartment, I think, is this cabinet. I think most people would anticipate it would swing out because that's what all our other cabinets do. But if you give it like a good heave-ho, it's actually got about 5 drawers inside of it, which is so helpful when it comes to cooking, so we can have like a pan organizer and our air fryer, our pasta maker, all of that good stuff is just right in here, and we can just slide it out and snag it.
This is our living room area. This is actually a frame TV, and when it's not on, it becomes a picture frame. I honestly hate having black screens on my walls. Where we live, it's supposed to inspire you, so I just wanted it to be a creative space. And we just got this credenza off of Facebook Marketplace.
It's a mid-century modern 1960s credenza. And then we just decorated it with some of our favorite pieces. We've got a lot of vintage cameras in here, some that work and some don't. This is one of my favorite pieces. So when we actually first started dating, we drove up to Canada and we stopped in the Catskills and stayed in the tent. And we popped into this antique shop and he found this. And so it's been with us through our entire relationship and made its way to this apartment, even though it got a little broken leg. We glued it back on and it's still alive and well.
These two chairs wanted to be a communal area, and I don't remember what brand this is, but I went to go pick it up from someone around the corner. I had to Venmo them, but she lived in this big residential building, so there was no service. So I told her I paid her and I started walking out with the chair, and I realized it didn't go through, so I sat downstairs, like in the lobby. And out of nowhere, I just hear someone sprinting. And it's her, because she thinks I just robbed her. I was like, no, we're good. It just didn't go through. Venmoed her, carried it home, down the streets of Williamsburg. Okay, this is the opposite side of our living room. A lot of people will wonder if this is the viral couch. Back in peak COVID, me and my old roommate, we picked up a couch when everything was like dead in New York City and there were no cars, and we took a photo while we were moving because I thought it would never happen again. Unfortunately, this is not the viral couch. I sold it, but from that point on, I was like, we need to source an amazing couch and amazing furniture so that we have the chance for virality and can continue to make content. So this couch replaced it. It's a lot more comfortable, but it still fits the space very nicely. The photos on this back wall, we just picked them up secondhand, but we really wanted a statement piece when you walked into the apartment that would just draw your eyes to the living room. A cool piece we have, this is from my old roommate actually. This is a photographer's book, Chris Buck, so there's a bunch of portraits in here.
The front cover is actually Joaquin Phoenix. You see a lot of elements of Joker in his mannerisms in these portraits in the book. We actually really wanted a concrete coffee table. We found this one on Facebook down the street. The rug was also Facebook.
It fits the space well, having the yellow chair, yellow pillows, yellow rug, they all accent each other.
I love this table. This is one of my favorite pieces. When I was actually in my old apartment, I was remodeling. I was selling my clothing rack to this girl on Facebook, and she actually had this in her car and she was going to trash it. And I couldn't let this beautiful piece go to waste. I actually took it back to my sister's. We buffed it down, stripped it, and then just painted it with chalk paint. And it's an old little table that folds up.
This is our closet. I know we don't have that much storage. I won't show you the whole space, but it's a full walk-in closet. This is where we put all our clothes. And across the top, there's some extra storage where we put stuff away.
So on the opposite side of the apartment, we have my little workspace. I go into the office 3 times a week. It's great to really have my own setup over here, Mike's over there. Even when I'm on calls, it's not as disruptive. And then I think the kicker, obviously you saw the closet. Sometimes when we're on calls, if it's really important and we have to be super quiet, we'll actually take our calls in our closet. So like I said, it's great to have that separation and just a nice place we can work and have the natural light, which I absolutely adore.